So in the last class, we were talking about how to work with a date, and we have got calendar class. So these are the things which we were discussing in the last class. So you'll find that calendar class, you see, we can use it to it holds that calendar class object, calendar object. It holds that calendar details. Yes, we saw how to read all these details. Yes, we can also read the year details here. Okay. Yes. See, year, calendar dot year. We can read this year details as well. So now let me just show you people that year. It is 2015, right? Okay, let me run this code. So you got 2015, fine. Have you noticed the month of the year? It says 9. Why it shows 9 here? What do you people think? Have you noticed it? It says it's ninth month. Sorry, 8th month. It is 8th month, it says. Month of the year is 8. Because here, the year starts with 0. Jan is counted as 0. You got it, all of you? Jan is counted as 0. Okay. You know, reading this date details here, this way, uh, it helps us a lot. Yes. You see, how? I'll show you. For suppose, okay, this is today's date, right? Let's say I got a person's date of birth. Uh, so date of birth, you know how to take date of birth, right? So if I want to take user defined date of birth, then I have to use this simple date format class. You know that I have to use simple date format class, and we need to specify the month, day, month, and year details. Yes. So now let's pass the date through parse method. Provide the date. Let's say 12/05 2000. Let's say just so Now you see here, this parse method, you know what it does? It returns that data object in which you will have that date of birth DOB. Now, parse method takes that string. Parse method takes that string and converts it into data object and returns that data object reference here. So that is what happens. Yes. Now we got today's date in that calendar object and we got date of birth. Now what I want to do is here, I would like to calculate the age of this person. I want to calculate the age of this person. So what to do? You see, if we can store this date details, if we can store this date details in a calendar object, date of birth especially, that the date of birth, if I can store it in calendar object, then you see we can read that month, day, year details and all independently. So which helps us to easily calculate the age, I can say. So for that reason, what I will do is here, I will create a calendar object this way. See, DOB calendar, calendar dot get instance. First of all, we'll obtain this calendar object this way. So by default, the current system date and time will be stored into this calendar object. But I want that the date of birth provided by the user to be stored into that date object. You got the point? Now the date of birth which is provided by the user is in that date object. So I want that the date of birth to be stored into the data into that calendar object. So what to do? You obtain this calendar object reference and call set time method and pass that date object. That's it. You see, this is important. So what we are doing here, so basically we are storing that user defined date, that is date of birth, in the calendar object. Now this calendar object, okay, whose reference is stored in this DOB cal, now it holds that user defined date, that means that a date of birth. Yes. So is this point clear for you people, all of you? Is this point clear for you people? Can I have yes or no? So what we did now, these two lines, especially these three lines. So first you're storing the user defined date into the data object, that is date of birth, then creating a calendar object, creating a calendar object. So in this calendar object we are storing that date of birth. Yes. Okay. Can I have yes or no? So anyone got any confusion in this regard? So why we are storing that date of birth into calendar object? What is that purpose? What do you people think? What is the purpose? Yes. Why we have to do this? Why we have to store that data into the DOB into the calendar object here? Yes. Yes, why we are storing that user defined date into the calendar object, so that you see we can read the date, month, year details independently. Okay, you see calendar object provides that option to read that date, month, year independently, right? So we can get all those details. Each detail of the date you can read it. Okay, with the help of that calendar object, which helps us to calculate the age. Yes. Now we have two objects. Now you know that. So today's cal, let's say the reference variable, one of the reference variables is today's cal. You see, which holds that current date. Calendar object holds the current date, today's date, and TOB cal holds the date of birth of that user or person. Now you see, I can calculate the age. How? So today cal dot get calendar dot day of the month. Okay, today, sorry, day of the sorry. I'll read the year first. Year, calendar dot year. So today, what year it is? Minus dob calendar dot get calendar dot year. So today's year and the date of birth year. So we'll read these 2 years, and then see, we'll subtract it. So today's year minus the date of birth year here. Okay. So you'll get that age in years first now. See 15. Okay. Now I want the age accurately, including the months, not only years. The year, I want the age in years, months, and days as well. You got the point, all of you? So what to do now if I want it in months also? I want the difference here in the months and the age as well. Sorry, year, the days as well. I want to calculate the date accurately, not approximately, accurately, which includes months and days as well. Yes. So will you people try this, all of you? Not now. You can take it as an assignment and you can try that. Okay, fine. So you know how to read the month details, right? And you can also read a day of the year. How will you read month? How will you find out the month? How will you read the month from the calendar object? You saw that calendar object dot get calendar dot month, right? Okay, so you can try that. Now let's move on. So this is about the dates. Okay, now you know how to read that complete details from the calendar object and use it. Okay, so let's move on. So this is about dates. That's it. Next, I'll talk about just a minute. streams, IO streams. IO streams. So a stream means, stream here refers to flow of data. Okay, flow of data. I mean the data which is moving, that is referred to as stream here. We call it as a stream. Here, is anyone familiar why do we need this streams concept? Why is it used? Streams. Why we are talking about flow of data? Why we need to discuss about this? So streams. Okay, read a file. Yeah, yes, a write to a file. So we'll see the requirement here. Okay, so let me explain you people. So why do we need this concept of streams? Okay, so first suppose let's say you got a Java application and you got a file. Okay, let's say this is a file. Now in this file, you know, we got some data. Okay, in this file we got some data. I want to read the data from the file into the Java application. I want to read the data from the file into the Java application here. So what to do? So how do we read the data from that file into the Java application? Yes. Okay. In order to do that, you need a channel through which we can move the data from the file into the application here. Okay, so that we can use it in the application. There is a need to move the data from the file into the application. So For that we need a channel, so we have to create a channel through which we can move the data. So this channel which helps us to move the data from the file into the Java application, it is actually called as a input stream. We call it as the input stream. It is actually called as an input stream. So the stream here, it acts as a channel through which the data will be moved. You know, the streams are basically directional. You'll find that the streams are basically directional. So always the data through the stream will flow in one direction. The data through the streams will always flow in one direction. Unidirectional, I can say. So from the file, sorry, in this case, you see this input stream, through this input stream, you'll find that we can only read the data from the file into the application. You see, the flow of data will be into the application here. Always we talk about the flow of the data with respect to the Java application. Now the direction of the flow of data, you see, it moves from the file into the application. So this type of stream where the data flows into the application, okay, so the direction of the flow of data is into the application. So this type of stream is called as input stream. Okay, so once again I'll repeat it. Basically streams are directional. Okay, always the data through the stream, it only moves in one direction. Okay, so in our requirement we have to move the data from the file into the application. So for that we have to use an input stream. That too, the direction of the flow of the data is always with regard to the Java application. Okay, we talk about the direction of the flow of data with respect to the Java application itself here. Okay, yes. So that is how it works. So how do we create this input stream and use it to read the data from the file? That is the question. So let's see. So for suppose I got a file here called as sample text. Okay, the file name is sample.txt and this is the text content in it. Don't worry, today it's not used anyways. So here you see I want to read this data which is in this file. So what to do? Now we can do that. Okay, let's see. So first of all, in order to create a stream, now we are going to take the help of a package in Java called as java.io. We got a package. So this package java.io, it is mainly used to handle streams, I can say. Yes. So it helps us to work with the streams. Yes. So now in this package itself, we got a class which helps us to create a stream now. Okay, there is a class which helps us to create a stream. input stream. What is that class? File reader. Okay, so this class basically it helps us to create an input stream, I can say. Okay, let's do that. So file reader, new file reader of, you have to pass that file name c colon sample.txt. So uh, you see, while I'm creating this class object, while I'm trying to instantiate this file reader class, we are getting an error here. So the error is this one, second line, not the first one. Don't worry about the first statement, I'll tell you. What is the second statement here? Unhandled exception type file not found. So what does that means? It says unhandled exception type file not found. So what does that means? Okay, so what are we supposed to do here? That means, this constructor, it throws a checked exception and says we are not handling it. The constructor here, it throws a checked exception, so which we are not trying to handle. That is what it means. So what are we supposed to do now? Yes. So what are we supposed to do now? So either use try catch to handle the exception, or what is the other option? Use throws clause. Use throws clause. Yes. So you got one of the possibilities here. Throws. I'll use throws. So throws file not found exception. Okay. So by using throws clause, what we are doing? So hope you people remember. So what are we doing using the throws clause? So we are delegating. Yes, we are delegating the task of handling the exception to the default handler, I can say. We are delegating the task of handling the exception to the default handler. Yes, fine. Now this file reader object, so what exactly it represents? File reader object, it represents that input stream. Okay, please make a note of it. So file reader object represents input stream now. Okay, the channel. So from Java application to that file, it represents a channel from the Java application to that file, I can say. Yes. So you see, I'm passing that file name to this class constructor. You see, file reader is a class, right? To this constructor, file reader class constructor. So we are passing the file name as a parameter. We are passing the file name as a parameter here. Okay. Yes. Now we got the file reader. So that input stream, I can say. Now we can use it to read the data from that file. Read the content from that file here. Okay, yes. So let's see how to read the data from that file. So for that you got a method called as read. So you call this read method read. You know read method what it does? Whenever you call this method, for the first time, let's say you have called this method. When you invoke this method, what it does is, sorry, yeah. So what it does is, just a minute. Okay. So, sorry. So the read method, what it does is it reads the first character. Okay. And in this case, what is the first character? What do you people think? So the first character is space in this case, a blank space. No problem. So what it does now, it reads that first character, whatever it is, and returns the Unicode value of that character. It returns the Unicode value of that character here. So that is what it does. Okay. So you'll get a Unicode value. Yes. So only reads one character. Now, what if I want to read the second character, next character? Again call the read method. What if I want to call read the third character, again call read method. Yes, this should continue. So each time you want to read a character, so you have to call that read method here, I can say. Each time you want to read a character, you have to call that a read method. Okay, yes. But how many times we have to call the read method? How do we know how many characters we got in that read method? So is there any option to find out beforehand itself the number of characters which you got in that read method? Is there any option to find out the number of characters in the read method? Yes. Yes. I can say there is no such method to find out beforehand itself how many characters you got. Okay. So that many times we can call this read method. But what you can do is here you have one option. The read method, what it does is whenever it reaches end of file, whenever it reaches end of file, what it does is it returns -1. Okay, whenever the read method reaches end of file, if there are no more characters to read, it returns -1. Okay, now that should be the base for us. Okay, that is supposed to be the base for us. Yes. So based on that itself, I'm going to write the logic. Okay. So it returns a Unicode value, right? So I'll take that character value, whatever it is, Unicode value. So read method also throws an exception. It is IO exception. So I'll add throws class. Here I'll write this condition while ch not equal to -1. If ch is not -1, then okay, we'll read the next character. Sorry, first of all, we'll print this character. We'll convert it into character type from integer to character type. So Unicode value. I'm converting it, casting it to character type. Then we'll display it. So I'll use print method here. Okay, we'll print that character. Now after printing that character, so what is the next thing we need to do here? What do you people think? We have to read the next character. So first we are reading what we're doing here. We are reading the first character here, and then you see we are checking whether it is end of file by any chance. Okay, maybe if there is no content in the file, then it will be end of file itself, initial itself, right? Yeah. So if it is not end of file, then we are trying to convert that Unicode value to character type, and then we are printing it. So after printing that first character, what are we supposed to do? What do you people think? So what is the next thing we are supposed to do here? We need to read the next character, right? Read the next character. So call file reader dot read method again. So it reads the next character. So after, sorry, use ch variable. After reading the next character, again we'll check whether, no, not needed, no incrementing here. After reading the next character, again you see this is a loop, right? So we'll check if it is -1 by any chance. So if it is not equal to -1, that means we didn't reach end of file. So now the next character which we read, so we'll convert it here into character type. So you'll get Unicode value, so converting it, we're printing it. And again we'll read the next character again. This is a loop. So you know this while loop which you got here, what do you people think? How many times it iterates? This while loop which you got here. So how many times it iterates? That while loop, how many times it iterates? Yeah. So yes, you see it depends upon the number of characters which you got in that file. Okay. Yes. So or I can say not number of characters. I can say till that read method returns -1. Am I right? Till the read method returns -1. Just a second. Yeah. Sorry. So the while loop, how many times it iterates, it depends upon the number of characters, or I can say till the read method returns -1. Okay, you know, after you're done reading the characters, now you have to close the stream. Close the stream. File reader dot close. Okay. So it is highly recommended. It is not mandatory, but it is recommended that you close the stream. Okay. Yes. Fine. Now let's run this code. You see in the console, you got that file output, that content, file content, I can say. Okay. So is it clear for everyone? Anyone got any doubts in this regard? Please let me know. Okay, good. Now let's move on. Okay. Yes. Now, uh, you see, in this example, we are trying to read a character at only one character at a time, right? We're able to read only one character at a time. Yes. What if I want to read more than one character? Then what to do? So what if I want to read more than one character? Then what to do? Let's see. Okay. Just a second, please. Just a second. Yeah. Hope you people can hear me right. So now we'll talk about how to read multiple characters. Okay, instead of reading a single character at a time. Okay, let's read multiple characters at once. Okay, so in order to do that, so we have to use buffered reader. Okay, buffered reader. Create a buffer reader class object, and then pass this file reader object reference to this buffer reader constructor. So here the buffered reader, I can say that by instantiating this class, we are trying to, sorry, we are trying to attach a buffer. We are trying to attach a buffer here. So buffer reader, what it does is it reads all the file content at once into the buffer. Okay, it will first make sure that it reads the content into the buffer. Okay, yes. So what do we mean by a buffer here? I'm saying it's a buffer. What does that means? Yes, buffer means it's just a temporary memory location, I can say. Buffer is nothing but a temporary memory location which is used to store the data, okay, content. The buffer reader will store all the data into the buffer first by reading it, okay, from the file. And then in the buffer reader, we have methods to read multiple characters at once, or I can say we can read a line at once here. I can say that we can read a line at once. Yes, it is possible. I'll show you people. So uh, actually, for some reason, I'm not able to modify this file content. It says there are restrictions on this file system. Just a minute. Hmm, Let me move this file into this test folder. Here maybe I can change, make the changes. Let me do this. I'll try to add multiple lines, sorry, multiple lines here. Oh my goodness, why it says access is denied? Let me create another file. Say today's Thursday, Wednesday, I'm sorry. Today is Wednesday. Data txt file. Okay, you see, we got 4 lines in this file, in this data.txt file. Okay, yes. So now let me change this file name. Say in the test folder, data.txt. Okay, fine. Now, in the buffered reader, we got a method called as read line. There is a method called as read line. So this read line method, what it does when you call this method, it reads the first line from that file, and that content of that line will be wrapped in a string object. The content of the line will be wrapped in a string object and returns that string object reference. Okay, so for the first time when you call this read line method, it reads the first line, stores that content into a string object, and returns that string object reference here. Yes, it's text content, right? So it stores it into a string object and returns it. Yes. Okay, now what if I want to read the next line? Again, you have to call the read line method. So how many times you have to call the read method? How do we know? As of now we have created this file, but sometimes you may need to read different files. So in that case, how we are going to do this? So that is where you'll use the option which read line method provides. That is, whenever read line reaches end of file, whenever the read line method reaches end of file, what it does, it returns null. Okay, it returns null. Once read line method, once read line method reaches end of file, it returns null. Yes. Okay, it returns null. That means we have to call the readLine method till it returns null, which means till the end of the file here. Yes. So let's write this code. Str not equal to null. Then if it is not null, that means we didn't reach end of file. So I'll print that line. And then what next? After printing that line, what to do? What's next? So we have to read the next line, right? So for that, again, call this buffered readers a read line method here. That's it. Okay, this will continue. So now this while loop, how many times it iterates? Yes. So it depends on the number of lines always, or till the read line method returns null, I can say. Okay, till the read line method returns null. Okay, yeah. So once you're done, you can just close the buffer, close the stream as well. File reader represents the stream, as I told you people. That's it. Now let's run this code. Okay, so is it clear for everyone? Okay. Now we saw how to read the data from the file. Now what if I would like to write the data to the file? Okay. What if I want to write the data to the file here? Yes. Then what to do? So for that, let's see what to do. So now, if you want to write the data to the file, then again we need a stream, but we cannot use that input stream here. Why? What is the reason? Why can't we use input stream? What is the reason? I've explained it already. Yes, what is it? Yes, that's right. Because the streams are unidirectional, the data can be only moved in one direction. As of now, the input stream which you have used earlier, through that stream, the data will be moved from the file to the application. Now, in our requirement, we have to read the data to the file. And if you want to read the, sorry, if we want to write the data to the file, and if you want to write the data to the file, so we have to move it from the Java application to the file. We have to move the data from the Java application to the file here. Yes. Yes. So for that, we have to use a different stream. We call it as an output stream. Okay. We call it as an output stream here. Yes. So in this output stream, what happens? You'll find that we'll move the data in output stream. You see the direction of the flow of data will be from the Java application to the file here. Okay. The direction of the flow of data, you'll find that it will be from the Java application to the file. That means it is out of the Java application. The data flow will be out of the Java application. Yes. Okay. So always the flow will be with regard to the Java application as I told you people. So data flows out of the application here. Yes. Okay. So now let's see how to create this output stream. Okay. So now let's create an output stream. For that, you see we have to use file writer class. So I want to write the data to that file. C text data.txt. Yes. So this file writer, I'm sorry. Again, this is from java.io package. We saw that file reader was also from java.io package itself. File writer is also a class from java.io package. Now you see here, now this file writer object, it represents that output stream, okay, from the Java application to the file. It represents an output stream from the Java application to the file here. Okay, yes. So again, we'll get a checked exception here, so which we need to handle. Use throws clause. Okay, now let's write the data to the file through the string using the string. So file writer dot, I'll use write method. So say this is IO stream class. Yeah. And then I'll close the stream here. Okay. Just print a message. Data written to the file. Yes. Now I have a question for you people. You see in that file data.txt. So already got some content, right? So what happens to this content? Yes. What do people think? What happens to this content? What happens to the data which you got already in the file? Let's see. Then there is an exception. First of all, let me see. It is test, right? I'm sorry. It says data written to the file. Yes. Now let's open this file. Yes, so what happened? So the previous content which you got, it was overridden. But what if I want that existing content to be retained? Now you see it is overridden, right? Completely lost. So here, if you want to retain the existing content and append that new content to that existing content, then what you need to do is simply you have to use another constructor here. Okay, you got this file writer constructor, right? So as of now, it is we are passing one parameter. So we got another constructor which takes two parameters. Yes, we got another parameter. It takes two parameters. So what happens if you set it to true? You'll find that you know, now whatever the content you write, so it will be appended to that existing content. Okay, the content will be appended here. Yes. So now this time let me just change this text content. So yes, this is IO stream, right? So let's say this IO stream class. Today is Wednesday. Yeah. So let me run this code. Okay, fine. Now let me open the file. You see this? So is it clear for you people? Can I have yes or no? Okay, good. Thank you. So I have a small task for you people in between. You know what? Try writing the data somewhere in the middle of the file. I want you people to try writing the data to the in the middle of the file. Writing the data in the middle of the file here. Okay. Yes. Okay. Try writing the data somewhere in the middle of the file. So let's say after the first line or second line or something like that. Okay. Yes. Fine. So now let's move on. So far, we have discussed about the streams, input and output. Okay. So we have classified the streams. We got the streams. You see, the streams are different types based on the direction of the flow of data. The streams were classified based on the direction of the flow of data. The streams were classified into two types: input stream and output stream. But streams are also classified based on the type of data, the data representations also. What type of data flows through the stream? Based on that also, you got the streams here. Okay. Yes. What type of data flows through the stream? I mean, in other words, I can say the data representation. Based on the data representation also, we got the streams here. Yes. So, for example, here as of now, the streams which we have used, that streams are actually character streams. So the reader class which we had, file reader class which we had, it is actually, I can say, it's a, sorry, it's a character input stream. It's a character input stream here. Yes. Just a second, please. Just a second. Yeah, I'm sorry. So this is character input stream. The file reader is basically a character input stream. And the file writer which we got, it is actually character output stream. File writer represents character output stream here. Okay, so character streams means here the data in the character stream will be, the data flow through the character stream will be the text content, I can say. Okay, yes, the data in the character stream, the data will be text content always. It will be always text content. Yes. Yeah. So for example, now you see we were reading the data from the file. We were reading the data from the file, right? Yes. That file was text file. So in order to read the data from the text file, we use this character stream. So always to read the text content, we use character streams. Okay. Always to read the text content, we use character streams. Fine. So what if we have non-text content? What if we have non-text content? Then what to do? Non-text content files. So can you give me examples of non-text content files here? Non-text content files means, yes, examples of non-text content files. Yes, that's right. Okay, okay. So, I'll take that image files, JPG, PNG, and Java file is also text file, right? So next, we got video files, audio files, zip files, right? Compressed files. These are all non-text content files. So, you know, if you want to read the data from such files, non-text content files, or non-text content data, non-text content. So in that case, you have to go for byte streams. Go for byte streams. Okay. byte streams, you see, we can create byte streams here, um, similar to the way we have done with character streams. So we got classes appropriately here. So you got file input stream to create a byte input stream, especially for files I can say. And we got file output stream to create a byte output stream here. Yes. Yes. So we'll see how to use this byte streams. The next concept which I'm going to talk about, there will be using byte streams. So byte streams always represents raw data, I can say. Okay. So the data is in binary format. The data is in the binary format. Yes. Okay. So now the next topic which I'm going to talk about will be using this byte streams. What is the topic? Very, very important one. Serialization. Yes. So is anyone familiar with this serialization concept? Why it is used? Yes. Okay. I'll tell you people. So, but let me tell you why we need serialization before I talk about serialization. So, mm, for suppose let's say I got a savings account object. Okay. Show the following content. Now you see the savings account object. Now you people know that it lives on the heap. Savings account object basically it lives on the heap. Yes. You know this the data in this object. Even it is on the heap now. Now you see this object which is on the heap and the data which is in that object. Is it stored permanently or temporarily? Yes, that's right. You know, the objects which we create basically, that they live on the heap, and that objects, they temporarily objects itself, I can say, because the heap memory is volatile memory. So whatever the data we store in that objects, it is only retained till the application is up and running, or you know, till your JVM is up and running. Application stops, once your application stops, whatever the objects which you have created on the heap, they will be destroyed. Whatever the objects you got on the heap, they will be destroyed, I can say. Whatever the objects which you got on the heap, they will be destroyed. Yes. Once your application closes or once your JVM stops execution. Okay. But what if I want to retain this data? You see, data is important for us. So once the application stops, I don't want to lose the data. I would like to retain it, store it permanently. I would like to store the data permanently. Then what to do? Yes. What do you think? What are the options we got here? To store the data permanently, what objects, what options we got? Yes. You know, if you want to store the data permanently, then I can say you got two options. One is flat files, a flat file. I mean a text file I can say. The second one is database servers. Okay. The second option is database server here. Okay. So, so you got two options. So, flat files and database servers. So first of all, in this IO streams, I'm going to talk about the flat file itself. Okay, flat file. And then later on, we'll be talking about database servers here. Okay, yes, fine. So now, whenever you want to store this object state, I mean the data which is in the object to the flat files, we need the serialization concept definitely. Okay, yes. Okay. So in order to write that object state, I mean the data which is in that file, if you want to write it to the file, so that object has to be serialized first of all. And then we can write the data to the file. So that serialization is important. So always we have to use serialization concept here to write the object state to the file. Okay, yep. So that I'll discuss about it in the next class. Okay, yes. So I'll stop it here today. So whatever we have discussed, hope this is clear for you people today, right? So I hope everyone is comfortable. So any questions, please let me know. Okay, fine. So let's